Hello, everyone. My name is Roque.Montero. I am a consultant manager with Assure for Life for over 7 years. And today we're going to go over the frequently asked questions and any questions that you may have about Assure for Life. Okay. So if you are new, this is a sample back office. Normally you will see your name here in the top right corner. So in the menu, you will see this consultant resources option here on the left. When you click there, it will take you to the let me see here. For some reason, sometimes it does not load. Okay. But normally when you get there, I don't know what's going on now, but sometimes the company is updating the website, but normally, when you get there, you at the bottom of the consultant resources, you will see a big section about the frequently asked questions. All right. Now, aside from those questions, through time, I've been taking notes of other questions that you will not find there. Okay. So let me refresh the page here. Okay, so we will go over these other questions, all right? So basically, I went over this training, few weeks back. So I added other questions just in case, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I am going to start from where we left off, last time, all right? Uh, I get a lot of questions every day from consultants, especially the new ones, and that's okay. We are here to learn, okay? Sometimes, I get asked this question: what documents does a client need to purchase a membership? Driver's license, social security, permanent residency, work permit, valid passport, or other? So the answer is very simple: is none. We don't ask for any document to purchase the membership. All right. Another question that I've been asked is, can the debit or a credit card of another person who is neither the owner, right, the plan holder, nor a one of the other members, can be used to purchase the membership? The answer is pretty straightforward. The answer is no. Okay. Any of the members may pay for the plan, but nobody outside that group can do that. All right. Very simple. All right. So now, a question: if let's say the plan holder is on vacation in a covered country outside the US, right? And the beneficiary, let's say, passes let's say one of the member passes in another covered country. All right. Does the company cover the airline ticket to attend the funeral home from the country where they are on vacation? Think about that. That could happen, right? Okay. So the answer is, under the current rule, there is no coverage. Okay. There is no coverage. Now, the ticket that the membership provides to the plan holder is from the US to the country where the service will be held. In this example, let's say the plan holder pays for their ticket, right? His or her ticket, and Assure can purchase a halfway ticket for the plan holder when he or she returns from the other country to the US. No refunds or reimbursements are issued. All right. So any questions in that reference? Remember that plan holders are not supposed to purchase the ticket because of this here. See, we don't give any refunds nor reimbursements. If they want to travel, if they are entitled to a round trip ticket, they have to let the company know, and the company will purchase the ticket for them. Okay. So it's not that the plan holder is going to purchase a ticket and then try to get a refund or reimbursement later. It's not going to happen. Okay. So we're very clear on that. All right. Remember, the company delivers services every day in all the countries that we serve. All right. And now, another question: is there a list? I get this question a lot, of affiliated funeral homes by state or city in a specific country. or even in the US? The answer is no. We cannot cross those lines. See, that would be a prepaid funeral home service where the family knows in advance where the funeral service will take place. We are not a prepaid funeral plan. Okay, so it's actually not permitted for this type of membership, okay, to announce in advance what funeral home will be used. All right. We do promise to offer the service in a good quality funeral home selected by Assure for Life at the time when the service is requested. Remember that, okay? So don't be afraid. At the end of the day, what matters is that it's going to be a service in a good quality funeral home. I know some people have preferences, right? But if you find somebody who really wants the funeral service to take place at a specific funeral home, please let them know that they need to purchase another product, like a prepaid funeral service, where they have to pay the full cost of the service in that particular funeral home. See, with us, clients don't pay the full cost of the funeral service. The membership does that for them. Okay, so they don't have to. Okay, so it's an exchange. All right, this is more accessible, right? More affordable. In the exchange is that the company is the one that selects a good quality funeral home. Any questions in reference to that? All right. So here we go. Another question. Is it possible for the deceased's body to be transferred to another country within the coverage area where they were not born? Think about that, right? For example, if the deceased was born in Haiti, but the transfer is to Jamaica because Jamaica is where all their family currently resides. Think about that. Well, guess what? This is subject to the laws of each country. Assure for Life depends on, whether a country will accept a body or not. So typically, the deceased must be a legal resident to be accepted in that country. So think about that. If a country refuses, right, to accept a body, what can Assure for Life do? Nothing, right? So that's why this question, all right? Another question. Who can pay for the membership and how? Well, membership can be paid by any member, not just the plan holder, any member with a debit or credit card. Automatic payments can be scheduled with a bank account. Okay. And now that payment with a bank account, the client can just call our customer service department directly, and they will, help the client over the phone. Okay. We're as consultants, we are not, if you notice in the back office, there is like a place like to take a payment or anything like that. Okay. Not even like for the application, you have to send a payment link to the payor. Okay. So now another question. If the deceased is in one of the covered countries, like outside the US, and already owns the burial plot, what happens to the plot offered by the company? Well, in that example, the relatives must decide whether to use the plot that they already own or the plot offered by our membership. Again, no refunds or reimbursements are available. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Okay. Another question. How would the company proceed if exceptionally all 7 plan members died at the same time? Hey, that could happen, right? The entire family goes in a bus, in a car, in an airplane. Guess what? There is no difference. One service is provided for each member, regardless of whether one or more members die at the same time. Okay? One service per member. We have a testimonial, right? If you notice, we have a testimonial of a funeral director apprentice. You have seen it in the videos, company videos, where a mother lost two two children, okay, in a car accident. One of them passed at the scene of the accident. The other one was taken to the hospital, and 2 weeks later, the other one also passed. So we delivered those two services. That's why that consultant is today very excited about what we do, because I mean she could not believe that a plan would work like that. All right. Another question. Remember, you may interrupt me if you have any questions, all right? Okay, so here we go. Is there a minimum number of memberships uh, per month that a consultant must achieve to keep their contract active? Yes, two minimum sales per month. Remember, two minimum sales per month. However, let's say after 4 months with no sales, the system will ask you to get recertified. Okay. Consultants will be deactivated if they do not record sales for 6 months. Any questions? 6 consecutive months. If you don't make a sale, the system will automatically kick you out. Now, that consultant at that time may get reactivated under any other sponsor. That's why it's very important for us to keep in touch with those people, because somebody may end up under somebody else just because we didn't follow up. All right, so we have to be in constant communication with those people. All right. Another question: if the 7 members of a plan each reside in different states, but all with, let's say, special rates, okay? I'm going to change this to special rates as an example. All right? Special rates, right? Does the plan premium rate remain the same? Okay. For example, one member lives in Florida, two in North Carolina, one in South Carolina, one in New York, one in California, and one in Puerto Rico. Remember, all these are special rate states. All right. Would the plan cost $85 or $70? Well, this is very simple, right? Special rate states, $70. Whether they are in different special rate states, is the same rate, $70. Okay. Um, by the way, well, there is another question that we'll go over something similar. Okay, so here we go. Now, if your plan member, we have somebody else coming in now. Okay, so if your plan members live in the special, okay, I'm changing this to special rate states, and the remaining 3 live in other in other covered countries, what rate should be paid for the plan? The regular rate or the special rate? So what do you think? Okay. So basically, there are 3 circumstances that determine whether a group will pay the special or the standard rate. So this is the way it goes. It depends on 3 circumstances. As an example, if the plan holder or the majority of the members in a group, let's say 4 or more in a group of 7, right? Or members over 65 of age reside in this is the standard rate states, okay? Standard, okay, then that rate will apply. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If you have, let's say, a plan holder who lives in Florida, a special rate state, and then we have to ask questions like, where does are your parents alive? Where do they live? What are their ages? We see, because we want to know what the rate would be, right? So if you don't ask that question, right, like the states where they live, what if that person tells you, hey, my parents live in, let's say, Nevada? See, that's a standard rate state. So because of that alone, in this example, the parents are over the age of 65, by the way, all right? So if they are over the age of 65, with those two people, the plan will be then $85, which is the standard rate. Okay, with just those two people. I mean, I would like you to um, give it a try on the in your back office. Please start playing, well, with different scenarios, and then you will see that a plan holder and a parent over the age of 65, if at least one of them, okay, live in standard rate states, that plan will be $85. So in that example, they may add, let's say, 5 more people, age 65 or younger, and then the rate will be the same, $85. Okay. Okay, so now if the majority of the group, again, 4 or more, live in standard rate states, the entire group will pay the standard rate. Or if the plan holder lives in standard rate states, then it doesn't matter where the other members live, that would be a group that would pay the standard rate, okay? And the good thing is that your back office will, calculate the rates automatically as you add the members, and then based on their age and the state where they live, you will get the correct rate, okay? But I'll give you a tip, all right? If you live in a special rate state, please don't jump too quick to say that the plan is going to be $70 per month without asking those questions. All right. So we have 4 more minutes to go here. If let's say the plan holder or a member dies outside the U.S. and their body is repatriated, listen carefully, by their own means, okay? Does the company cover the funeral expenses once the deceased is in the U.S.? The answer is yes, all right? Remember, in this example, we don't cover repatriation. So the question refers to repatriation to the United States, okay? So if the family pays for it, of course, once the body is in the US, we will deliver the service as if the person had passed in the US, okay? In those examples, when I get that question, I give them a tip like, hey, if you're going to travel outside the US, my advice is that, you should purchase travel insurance. Remember, that has nothing to do with Assure for Life. They can go to their agent or on the internet and purchase travel insurance, which covers, bringing the remains back to the U.S. Okay, but that is a separate plan. They are inexpensive anyway. Okay, so it's a good investment. After a plan, let's say after an enrollment, and there are missing members, can they be enrolled later? Is there a time limit for doing so? Changes or correction to the plan can be made within 3 business days of enrollment or on each plan anniversary. Okay, so